The Lord subconsciously wanted to pull his hand back, but He Xingjiu firmly pressed down on Sheng Zun's right hand with both hands. Sheng Zun's pupils contracted for a moment, and then his whole body relaxed. You want to wipe my hands? I remember that during the banquet, you secretly touched my hand, and now you're openly doing it? If you want to touch them, just say it. I'll let you touch them. Why do you have to find such a clumsy excuse? I didn't even touch a drop of water on my hands. Hey Xingjiu, you're so shameless. Who wants to touch you? This guy was so angry that he would have let go of her hands if an ordinary girl was told to do so by Sheng Zun. However, He Xingjiu's skin was unusually thick. She said with a smile, Sheng Zun, although your hand is not wet, it is still good to wipe it. It will taste good if you wipe it clean. Sheng Zun looked at the obvious water stains on the plate of pastries, and his mouth twitched. You can eat the pastries yourself. You don't have to make excuses. I know you want to take advantage of me. Do whatever you want. He Xingjiu really wanted to scold Sheng Zun, but she was in a hurry to prove Sheng Zun's identity, so she pretended not to hear Sheng Zun's words and looked at Sheng Zun's right palm impatiently. However, strangely, she found that Sheng Zun's right palm didn't even have any palm prints or fingerprints, let alone horizontal lines. He Xingjiu thought Sheng Zun was wearing gloves, so she rubbed her hand against Sheng Zun's, but she found that there was still no change. What? Can I touch it? Do you still need to use so much force? Do you want to look at your left hand again? I feel that your left hand has more texture than your right hand, Sheng Zun said with a smile. He Xingjiu, she was now certain that the big-tailed wolf in front of her was not a gigolo. A gigolo would not say such shameless words. He Xingjiu threw the handkerchief on the coffee table angrily and then left the carriage. Sheng Zun looked down at his right hand. A broken mark appeared on it. He curled his lips and shouted to the outside, Aren't you going to perform the tea ceremony? I'm not in the mood. Since you're not in the mood, get off the car. I'm not in the mood to take you back to the immortal Yuan continent. Sheng Zun counted 1, 2. Sheng Zun, I'm just kidding. I'll clean up the tea table first, and then I'll perform the tea ceremony for you, He Xingjiu said with a smile. Although He Xingjiu wanted to strangle this lunatic in front of her to death, she decided to endure it in order to return to the immortal Yuan continent. Go Jian could endure it even if he had to endure it, so what if she performed a tea ceremony? It was really nothing. Damn it, she really wanted to strangle this pretentious bastard in front of her to death. He Xingjiu was focused on boiling water and making tea. Although the Lord was holding a book in his hand, his gaze was completely focused on He Xingjiu. For a moment, there was only the sound of bubbling water boiling in the carriage. Lord, have a taste of my skills, He Xingjiu said proudly. Her skills were inherited from the wife of the hall master, so she felt that they were not bad. The Lord raised his teacup and drank a few mouthfuls, then nodded. You are not too useless, you can barely drink it. He Xingjiu really wanted to shout at the Lord, Damn it, spit it out for me. She was struck by lightning. Boom. A bolt of lightning struck the carriage. Buttface and the black-horned horses were scared out of their wits, but the bolt of lightning stopped less than 3 feet away from the carriage. After the carriage passed by, it struck the ground. He Xingjiu's face was filled with shock and astonishment, but her heart was bursting with joy. Oh my God! Once or twice was a coincidence, this was already the 3rd time. It was definitely not a coincidence. Could it be that she had unlocked a new skill? In the future, all she had to do was open her mouth and summon the heavenly lightning? This fellow could not wait to chant in his heart, Baby heavenly lightning, quickly, quickly strike down. Chop it down towards that pretentious Sheng Zun, chop him to death. However, there was no movement at all. This fellow thought about it for a moment, and it seemed like what she said was that pretentious Sheng Zun would be struck by lightning. Thus, she fiercely shouted in her heart, pretentious Sheng Zun would be struck by lightning. There was still no reaction. He Xingjiu didn't give up. She shouted in her heart a few more times, but there was still no reaction. This fellow was so discouraged. It turned out that she was thinking too much. That's right. Xiao Haniu's innate instinct wasn't a crow, so where did she get a crow's mouth? Xiao Hanio in the spirit beast pouch. 2. I'm not a crow, okay? I'm a black phoenix. Hei Shinjio hung her head low for a while. She suddenly remembered that the Lord had said that if she performed well in the tea ceremony, she would not be mistreated. This fellow immediately became energetic. Damn it, this carriage and the black-horned horse had cost her a lot of nightmare stones. She could take this opportunity to blackmail them back. Therefore, Xingzun smiled like a flower. Lord, you promised to give me a reward. What kind of reward is it? I've already given you a reward, which is to allow you to stay in the carriage. Otherwise, a maid like you should be sitting outside with butt-face, the Lord said with a smile as he leaned against the wall of the carriage. Hey Shinjio. She really wanted to strangle this lunatic to death. Hey Shinjio really wanted to splash the pot of boiling tea on Xingzun's face. It was too fucking bullying. She bought the carriage, he bought the black-horned horse, and even the coachman, butt-face, was under her command. In the end, it was this big-tailed wolf who showed mercy that she could stay in the carriage? Xingzun looked at Hei Shinjio. He said indifferently, "What? I think you mean that you don't seem to be willing to stay in the carriage and prefer to stay outside? I don't like to force others. If you don't want to, no, I'm willing. I'm 100% willing. Come, continue drinking your tea," Hei Shinjio said politely. Burn you to death. Crazy. Why should she go outside? This was her carriage, hers. For a few days, Hei Shinjio was so insulted by the Lord that she wanted to hit the wall. Hei Shinjio did not feel that the black-hearted wolf in front of her had any similarities with Di Baiming. The pretty boy was arrogant, but he was definitely not as black-bellied as this crazy. This guy was simply eating people without spitting out their bones. That morning, when Hei Shinjio woke up, she saw the Lord looking at her with a faint smile on Xingzun's face. Hei Xinjia's heart sank. What did this psycho mean? Did she talk nonsense last night? What did she say that she shouldn't have said? When Hei Shinjio was washing up, she finally realized why the Lord had that expression on Xingzun's face. The effect of the transfiguration pill had reached its limit, and her appearance had already recovered. This fellow was a little flustered at first, but after thinking for a while, she thought, fuck, since it's already like this, I can do whatever I want. The Lord did not ask her why her appearance had changed. He just criticized her as usual, as if he felt that this was one of the great joys of life. Hei Shinjio was still jumping up and down in anger at first, but she had already become numb to it. If you want to say it, just say it. Wasn't it just a little embarrassing? It's not like I've never been embarrassed before. I'm just shameless. Bite me. Pmph. After walking for about half a month, there was nowhere to go. Xingzun, Buttface said carefully, there is a forest in front of us. The black-horned horse cannot enter. Xingzun got off the carriage and put the black-horned horse and the carriage into his storage ring. His movements were very natural. Hei Shinjio curled her lips. Shameless. That was clearly her horse and her carriage. The Lord glanced at Yunchujio. He was clearly in a good mood. It's forbidden to fly here. Let's walk. Hei Shinjio and Buttface could only follow behind the Lord. Hei Shinjio originally thought that they would encounter some nightmare beasts in the forest. However, they didn't even encounter a nightmare beast, let alone an attack. Xingzun blinked his eyes and had an epiphany. The demon beasts must have been scared away by Xingzun's mental pressure. Xingzun went up to Xingzun and asked, Xingzun, I want to interview you. Isn't it great to be invincible? Xingzun was stunned for a moment before he smiled bitterly. It would be great if you are invincible. Of course, if I were to compete with you, I would be invincible because you are too useless. Hey Shinjio, damn it, if you don't talk back to me, will you die? However, this fellow was obviously numb to being talked back to. He then asked, where are we going now? Are we going to the fallen god abyss? Xingzun rarely did not talk back to her. He nodded and said, yes, but not us, but me. When we reach the vicinity of the fallen god abyss, you can wait outside. I will go in and get some things. You'll go too. I want to go in and look for the 1,000-leaf golden grade lotus. I promise to be obedient and won't hinder you, Hei Shinjio said in a flattering manner. Xingzun hesitated for a moment and said, "All right, you can go in with me. However, you must listen to me. Otherwise, you'll have to bear the consequences." He Xinjiu thanked him profusely. That was great. With the 1,000-leaf golden-grade lotus, she could refine the disguise pill. The forest was very big. After walking for 10 days, the three of them found that there was a large lake in front of them. It was azure blue and so beautiful that it made one's heart palpitate. He Xinjiu could not help but exclaim in admiration, "It's so beautiful! Is this the fallen god abyss? I didn't expect that the name is not good, but the scenery is so beautiful." Just as He Xinjiu was sighing, the Lord said to Buttface, "If you stand in the lake, the nightmare beasts will not attack you." Sheng Xian said, "If you stand in the lake, the nightmare beasts will not attack you." After saying that, the Lord grabbed He Xinjiu's hand and jumped into the lake. Just as He Xinjiu was about to break free from the Lord's hand, the Lord said in a low voice, "If you want to die, you can let go of Xingzun." He Xinjiu immediately became obedient. It was no big deal. Yun Chujiu quickly understood what the Lord meant by letting go of Xingzun if she wanted to die. In the middle of the lake was a huge whirlpool filled with wind blades. However, these wind blades could not pose any threat to Xingzun's spiritual energy shield. The two of them were sucked in by the huge suction force. After an unknown period of time, when He Xinjiu regained her sight, she found Xingzun lying beside her. She did not know whether he had fainted or fallen asleep, but he did not open his eyes. He Xinjiu panicked for some reason and reached out to push Xingzun. "Hey, wake up. What happened to you?" Xingzun did not wake up. Yun Chujiu then realized that Xingzun's lips were pale and dry. Although his face could not be seen through the mask, he must be as pale as a piece of paper. What happened to him? Wasn't he awesome before? Yun Chujiu called Xingzun a few more times, but Xingzun still showed no signs of waking up. He Xinjiu didn't dare to feed Xingzun any medicinal pills. It would be bad if it backfired. She didn't want to take the opportunity to kill Xingzun. After all, without Xingzun, she wouldn't be able to leave the fallen god abyss, and she wouldn't be able to return to the immortal Yuan continent. He Xinjiu looked around. Other than many spiritual plants that she had never seen before, this place seemed to be an ordinary valley. Was this the fallen god abyss? Just as He Xinjiu was looking around, she heard Xingzun make a soft sound. He seemed to be in great pain. She looked down and was surprised to find that Xingzun's body was covered in a layer of frost. The frost was getting stronger and stronger, almost forming a layer of solid ice. What was going on? Could this crazy Xingzun be a spirit carved out of ice? While Yun Chujiu was in a daze, Xingzun's body had already formed a layer of solid ice. This guy took out a rolling pin and started to hit the solid ice on Xingzun's body. This guy could not help but be secretly happy. This was similar to hitting a frozen fish. He Xinjiu suddenly frowned. Wasn't this Xingzun a fire spirit root? Why was he surrounded by solid ice? She picked up Xingzun's right hand and looked at it carefully. There were still no patterns on it. This guy sighed. Was he really not a gigolo? Although she thought that this Xingzun was too black-bellied. It didn't seem like Di Biming's personality at all, but her sixth sense told her that this person was Di Biming. Otherwise, she wouldn't feel at ease to be alone with a man in the carriage. He Xinjiu felt that she was about to become mentally ill. How could she prove that he was a gigolo? He Xinjiu looked at Xingzun's lips and had an idea. Fuck, wouldn't she know after a kiss? Although she was not sure what Di Biming's lips looked like, she still knew how to feel them. After all, she had kissed him countless times. Therefore, this guy leaned over to the face of Xingzun. At this moment, Xingzun opened his eyes. Hey Xinjiu, what should I do if I'm found out that I'm kissing a man? She was waiting online, and it was quite urgent. You actually took advantage of the situation and wanted to take advantage of me? If you want to kiss me, just say it. Why do you have to be so sneaky? Do you like this tone? Although Xingzun spoke weakly, his tone was still very annoying. He Xinjiu's thick skin that had been thick for thousands of years turned red. After some psychological preparation, she said, I don't want to kiss you. She said righteously, Bah. Who wants to kiss you? I want to see what's wrong with you. Why don't we observe you to confirm the diagnosis? By the way, what's wrong with you? Shengzun smiled bitterly. I didn't expect that my old wounds would recur at this critical moment. I'm afraid that we won't be able to live. I told you to stay on top, but you didn't. Now, do you regret it? Yun Chujio knocked the ice on Shengzun's body while saying, Why should I die? Even the god won't accept a disaster like me. However, according to you, is it very dangerous in here? Shengzun nodded with difficulty. Let's find a place to stay first. Otherwise, I will drag you down when we are in danger. Yun Chujio had no choice but to carry Shengzun on her back and walk forward. Shengzun's body was so cold that Hei Xinjiao felt like she was carrying a huge block of ice on her back. It was not easy to find a cave. Yun Chujio quickly lit a bonfire in the cave, hoping to slow down Shengzun's freezing speed. However, it was useless. Shengzun's body was still freezing. Hei Xinjiao knocked on the ground with the rolling pin as she asked the Lord, Aren't you a fire spiritual root? Can't you use your spiritual power to dissolve the ice? Shengzun asked. Shengzun did not answer Yun Chujio's question. Instead, he said, If you will die here, what is your wish? Yun Chujio glared at Shengzun. Ba 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 ba. I will not die. I still want to have a baby with my gigolo. I still want to find my chi-chi. Shengzun's eyes flashed with pain. What if your fiancé dies? Shut up. Yun Chujio hammered Shengzun with the rolling pin in her hand. The pretty boy will not die. You will die if he dies. Shengzun did not even have the strength to dodge, so he could only let Hei Xinjiao pound him. He sighed and said, I mean, if he dies, what will happen to you? If he dies, so be it. Do I have to die with him? He is not the only crooked tree in this world. I will find someone else to marry. It is not easy to find a three-legged toad. There are plenty of people with 2 legs, Hei Xinjiao said indifferently. A hint of cunningness flashed in her lowered eyes. The Lord was instantly stunned. He looked at Yun Chujio with a complicated expression and said, Good, good, well said. Hei Xinjiao looked at Shengzun with a smile and said, I think you are quite good. Why don't I just make do with you? We are going to die anyway, so don't waste time. Come, let me help you take off your clothes. Shengzun's eyes flashed with anger. You are shameless. Shameless? I have more shameless things. Come, don't be shy. You are going to be frozen into ice anyway. Let me hug you. Maybe I will melt your ice with my passion. Hei Xinjiao went to untie Shengzun's clothes as she said that. Shengzun snorted in his heart. Little girl, I must force you to tell me the truth. I couldn't defeat you before, but now I have 100 ways to make you tell me the truth. Shengzun was obviously going to be frozen to death, but he was sweating profusely. Of course, his sweat turned into ice immediately. Shengzun saw that Hei Xinjiao was going to be serious, so he gritted his teeth and said, Stop. Stop? Why should I stop? I want to do something shameful with you now. Although it's inconvenient for you to wear this mask, it's okay. As long as you have a good figure, I don't mind. Hei Xinjiao said and deliberately glanced there. Shengzun was so angry that the veins on his forehead popped up. Little Jiao, stop. Little Jiao? Io, you're calling me by my nickname? This means that you're still very willing. Come on, this fallen god abyss will be our new house. Today will be our wedding night. Hei Xinjiao stretched out her claws and began to untie Shengzun's clothes. As she did so, she said, Don't be nervous, my fiancé is a fool. He won't find out about us. Even if he does, since you're so powerful, just kill him. Anyway, I've been displeased with that arrogant guy for a long time. Shengzun roared angrily, Hey Dong, shut up. Io. Shengzun, you're really my lover. You even know my nickname? This is really fate. Let's hurry up and finish the job before you die. Hei Xinjiao said slyly. Shengzun sighed dejectedly. Little Jiao, stop fooling around. Hei Xinjiao stood up abruptly, her eyes reddened. Stop fooling around? Is it fun to play with me? Do you think it's fun to play with me as a fool? Do you think it's fun to play with me? What do you take me for? Xingzun immediately panicked. He gritted his teeth and said, "Little Jiao, this matter is indeed my fault. At the beginning, I was angry that you didn't listen to me and participated in the Yen clan's matter, so I planned to teach you a lesson. However, later on, I discovered that my old illness was showing signs of acting up, so I planned to hide it from you. After I brought you back to the immortal Yuan continent, I would find a reason to break up with you. This way, my death wouldn't make you too sad." Yun Chujio sneered, "Hide it from me? Haven't you kept a lot of things from me? You lied to me in the name of my own good. Do you think I will accept your favor? Just wait for your death here. I don't want to see you for even a quarter of an hour." Xingzun said dejectedly, "It's okay if you blame me, but this place is full of dangers. You should stay here. I will protect you no matter what." "But I don't care." He Xinjiao said angrily and left the cave. Xingzun wanted to stop her, but his body was covered with a layer of ice and he couldn't move at all. Xingzun, who was also debeiming, was filled with regret and regret. He regretted that he shouldn't have been in a hurry to break another seal. If this seal hadn't been broken, his old illness wouldn't have flared up. He hated that up until now, only a small part of his seal had been removed. Many things were still confusing. He did not even know who his real enemy was. Now, he had dragged the person he loved into a dangerous situation. There was no way he could protect her. He simply did not deserve to be a man. If he had known that his old illness would flare up so quickly, he would have chased her away from the palace instead of calling her back. The ice on Beiming's body was getting thicker and thicker. It was as if even his thoughts were frozen. In his daze, he saw Yun Chujio return. When Beiming regained consciousness again, he realized that although his body was still very cold, the speed of the ice forming was much slower than before. His body was wrapped in countless layers of the nine-tailed fox's fur, just like a dumpling. There were several bonfires in the cave. One of the bonfires was still roasting meat, but there was no one there. Beiming's heart stopped. Where was little Nine? Beiming wanted to stand up, but he did not have any strength on his body. Furthermore, his body was wrapped in layers of fox fur. After struggling for a long time, he only managed to move forward a little. What was even more tragic was that because of his struggle, sparks splashed onto the nine-tailed fox's fur. Instantly, the cave was filled with the smell of burning. Beiming had no spiritual power now. He could only watch as the flames began to spread rapidly. He smiled bitterly. Was this retribution? However, it was also good. If he died like this, he would not drag little Jiao down. Just as Beiming's thoughts were running wild, he was splashed with a few basins of water. Then, he heard Yun Chujio's angry voice. "It's okay if you want to die. Don't spoil my fox fur. It's very valuable." "Little Jiao, shut up. I don't want to talk to you now, and I don't want to listen to you," He Xinjiao said angrily. "Little Jiao, don't you understand human language? Shut up." "Sigh, little Jiao, I just want to tell you that the meat is burnt," Beiming sighed and said. He Xinjiao then realized that the piece of roasted meat had turned into a piece of charcoal. There was no way to eat it. He Xinjiao glared fiercely at Beiming. "It's all your fault. Scram to the side." He Xinjiao said as she kicked Beiming, and the pitiful one was kicked to the side like a ball. A certain someone was kicked so hard that he didn't even have a bit of temper. This was probably the retribution he got for bullying her a few days ago. He had brought this upon himself. After He Xinjiao kicked a certain someone away, she glared at him fiercely again, but she still cut off the fur that was burnt by the fire. "This is all money. You have to compensate me. The carriage and the black-horned horse are also mine." He Xinjiao said angrily. Beiming laughed bitterly. "What's mine is all yours. Unfortunately, I don't have any spiritual power now, so I can't give it to you even if I wanted to. Just wait until I die and take the storage ring away. Everything inside is yours." He Xinjia's eyes reddened. She bit her lips and said fiercely, "You bastard." Di Biming was dumbfounded by the scolding. He was stingy and scolded him. Why was he scolded for giving all the money to her now? Yun Chujio kicked Di Biming a few more times and then ignored him. "Little Gio, how did I offend you again?" Di Biming asked tentatively. Hei Xinjiu acted as if she didn't hear him and didn't say anything. "Little Gio, it's my fault for lying to you. You can hit or scold me if you want." Hei Xinjiu remained silent. "Little Gio, I'll tell you what you want to know. Don't be angry. Pandi N0 Vel." Calm. Hei Xinjiu turned her head angrily. "What happened to the mask on your face? And how did your palm lines disappear? Aren't you an ice spirit root? How did you become a fire spirit root? The mask is an immortal artifact. Unless the person wants to take it off, no one can take it off. However, I don't have any spiritual power now, so I can't take it off. The disappearance of the palm print is just a small trick. If you want to learn it, I can teach you. As for the spiritual root, I have always had an ice spiritual root. The black flame is the fire of ice. When the ice spiritual root reaches a certain level, it can release the fire of ice. What about the Lord of the Nightmare race?" Hei Xinjiu curled her lips. So all of this was because she was inexperienced? Xingzun thought. Damn it, she felt inexplicably ignorant. After I unsealed another layer of the seal, I gained some memories. I vaguely remember that I used to be the Lord of the Yen clan, and there was something very important to me in the fallen god abyss. That's why I entered the Dark Continent from another entrance, Di Biming said. Hei Xinjiu frowned. If that's the case, why did you stay in the Yen clan's imperial palace for so long? Could it be that you were waiting for Princess Wang Yu to curry favor with you? Di Biming looked at Hei Xinjiu speechlessly. Little Jiu, is that idiot worthy of your jealousy? Pui. Who's jealous of you? I'm just asking. Don't interrupt. Answer the question honestly. Hei Xinjiu shouted with a stern expression but a timid voice. The fallen god abyss only appears on certain days. Besides, I also wanted to search for information about Guai Chao, but I found nothing. Although the Yen clan took away most of the books back then, there was still one floor below the library in the Imperial Palace, but most people didn't know about it. The goatskin scroll that I read before was found inside. Di Biming said. When Hei Xinjiu heard Di Biming mention the library, she thought of those storybooks. Her heart moved. Could it be that the gigolo purposely let her see those storybooks? He wanted to bribe her with a small favor? No way. Then what did you come to the fallen god abyss to get? Hei Xinjiu asked curiously. Di Biming smiled bitterly. I don't know what it is either. If I tell you, you might think that I'm fooling you. But because the seal has only been broken a small part of the time, many things only have a general outline, or even a feeling. Hei Xinjiu looked at Di Biming in disdain. How are you going to retrieve something if you don't even know what it is? I think you are getting more and more stupid. A certain someone felt guilty and did not dare to retort even though he was being called stupid. Instead, he echoed, You are right. I am indeed getting more and more stupid. I should not have brought you to the fallen god abyss and dragged you down instead. When Yun Chujio heard Di Biming's words, she moved closer to Di Biming and stared at him closely. She was getting closer and closer. A certain someone could even count how many eyelashes Hei Xinjiu had. A certain someone's heart palpitated. Could it be that little Jiu wanted to kiss him? Was she not angry anymore? The tip of a certain someone's ears could not help but turn red. A faint anticipation rose in his heart. Previously, he was afraid of being exposed and did not dare to have any thoughts. Now that the truth was out, he was naturally filled with joy to be able to kiss his sweetheart. Unexpectedly, Hei Xinjiu's target was clearly not his lips, but his neck. Hei Xinjiu bit the man's neck hard, and the man grimaced in pain. However, he felt guilty and could only grit his teeth and endure it. He even said, Bite? As long as you can vent your anger, it's fine. Just don't clench your teeth, or else my heart will ache. Hei Xinjiu, holy shit! The gigolo seemed to have become black-bellied after the seal was lifted this time. How could she continue biting him when he said that? Hey Shinjio let go of her mouth and snorted coldly, "Gigolo, I'm telling you seriously. Listen carefully. I'm not afraid of being implicated, and you shouldn't make decisions on my behalf. If you treat me as your fiancé, tell me everything and let me make my own decisions. Just because you think you're good to me doesn't mean you're good to me, you idiot." If a certain someone had heard Hei Shinjio calling him a gigolo and an idiot, he would have exploded. But now, he felt guilty and could only say with a smile, "You're right. Everything you say is right. It's all my fault." Hei Shinjio, fuck. The gigolo who had unlocked a new skill seemed to be very difficult to deal with. Di Baiming saw a wound on Yun Chujia's arm from the corner of his eye. Although the wound was no longer bleeding, he could still tell that it was cut by a sharp weapon not long ago. Di Baiming's heart ached and his voice trembled. "Little Jiao, did you feed me your blood again?" "Humph. I was waiting for you to be my slave. Of course, I can't let you die so easily." Hei Shinjio said stubbornly. Di Baiming had 1,000 words in his heart, but he didn't know what to say. He just looked at Yun Chujio with an expression. Hei Shinjio felt a little uncomfortable under Di Baiming's burning gaze. She changed the topic and said, "You said it's very dangerous here. What exactly is the danger?" Di Baiming then retracted his gaze and said, "I'm not too sure about the specific danger. In short, it's a very dangerous feeling. We should be careful. If we encounter danger, Di Baiming originally wanted to say that if he encountered danger, he would not let Yun Chujio care about him. He would just run for his life. However, when he recalled what Yun Chujio said earlier, he swallowed the rest of his words. He changed his words. "If you are in danger, you must be careful." Hei Shinjio nodded and took out hot porridge from her storage ring and fed it to Di Baiming. Of course, he did not forget to take revenge during the feeding process. "You are so stupid. You can make porridge everywhere. Are you stupid? Do you know the etiquette of eating? Don't you know that you can't make a sound when you are eating porridge? What a waste." Although Hei Shinjio scolded him harshly, her movements were very gentle. After feeding Di Baiming the porridge, she casually ate some. The danger that the two of them expected did not come. It was just that at night, Di Baiming's illness became more and more serious. Even though Yun Chujio forced him to drink some of her blood, it was still so cold that his lips turned blue, his body kept trembling. "Little Jiao, you don't have to me. Just endure it, I'll be fine." Di Baiming's teeth were chattering. It took him a lot of effort to finish his sentence. Hei Shinjio was anxious. The fur of the nine-tailed fox should be the warmest thing in the world, yet it could not block the coldness in the gigolo's body. What should she do? Hei Shinjio gritted her teeth. In her book, when she encountered such a situation, it seemed that women used the heat of their bodies to warm men. How about she give it a try? After all, she had the 10,000-year-old fire marrow in her body. Perhaps it could really make the gigolo feel better. Therefore, the guy began to take off his clothes, which were thrown to the ground one by one. Di Baiming was so shocked that he could not even feel the coldness on his body anymore. Little Jiao, what are you going to do?" Hei Shinjio smiled sinisterly. "What do you think? Of course, I'm going to take advantage of your situation and do something immoral. Beauty, come on, obey me. Don't do anything reckless." Unfortunately, Di Baiming was now a fish on the chopping board. How could he escape from Hei Xinjia's vicious hands? After being tormented by Hei Shinjio, he was only left with his undergarments. Although Hei Xinjia's words were smooth, she was still very shy in her heart. No matter how thick-skinned she was, she still had her face. Gritting her teeth, she mustered up her courage and hugged Di Baiming. Di Baiming's heart instantly beat like a drum. Now, let alone the cold, he might not even feel someone cutting his flesh with a knife. Hei Xinjia's little heart also thumped non-stop, almost jumping out. For a moment, her mind was filled with scenes described in the storybook. Damn it, she couldn't think about it anymore. She was a pure and good child. The two of them didn't speak, but they felt like they were talking a lot. For a moment, the cave was filled with pink bubbles. As the night deepened, Di Baiming's cold poison took effect even more violently. Yun Chujio felt like she was hugging a big ice cube. Her body began to freeze. Little Jio, let go of me, Di Baiming said anxiously. Tui, if you say let go, then let go. Stay there obediently. I'm in charge now. Hei Shinjio glared at Di Baiming and said angrily. Di Baiming felt pain and regret in his heart. For a moment, he wished that he could die so that he would not drag Yun Chujio down. The frost on Yun Chujio's body gradually turned into solid ice. Hei Shinjio was going to shatter the solid ice on her body every once in a while. At this time, this guy was still in the mood to complain. Pretty boy, don't you think it's convenient for me to eat ice-cold spiritual fruits in the future? This ice block is simply a sharp weapon to eliminate the heat. Di Baiming's lips were livid. He could barely speak. He only blinked his eyes to indicate that he heard what Yun Chujio said. When Yun Chujio saw Di Baiming's appearance, her heart ached. She lowered her head and covered Di Baiming's lips, wanting to transmit her temperature to Di Baiming. The moment Yun Chujio and Di Baiming's lips touched, Hei Shinjio felt as if something had jumped into her body from Di Baiming's mouth and rushed towards her dantian. Hei Shinjio was stunned. What the hell went to her dantian? While she was still in a daze, she was surprised to find that Di Baiming's condition was obviously better. Could it be that the thing that caused the gigolo had jumped into her body? Di Baiming also felt that something had jumped out of his body recently. The two of them stared at each other, feeling that this world was really wonderful. Di Baiming was the first to react. Little Jio, quick, take a look inside and see what's going on. Yun Chujio heard him and started to look inside. She saw that the Guai Chao in her dantian was holding something and chewing on it. Yun Chujio did not see what it was, but it should be a living thing. Because it kept struggling, the Guai Chao's leaves tightly controlled it. In the end, it entered the Guai Chao's stomach. Yun Chujio told Di Baiming about what she saw. Di Baiming did not speak for a long time. He thought that he would definitely die this time. He did not expect that there would be a turn for the better. However, it was clear that there was more than one in his body. Although his condition was better, it was still very cold. It was just that the hard ice had become thinner. Hei Shinjio blinked her eyes. Gigolo, come, let's continue. I'll help you get the rest out. Before Di Baiming could react to what Hei Shinjio meant, Hei Shinjio pounced on him. She gnawed and bit him with all her might. Di Baiming was like a little sheep now. He was no match for Hei Shinjio, the big-tailed wolf. He could only be manipulated by her. However, the things in Di Baiming's body might have already known that Hei Shinjio was not to be trifled with, so the rest of them did not jump out. Hei Shinjio touched her swollen lips and cursed, "Damn it! You actually learned how to be smart. They'll get you all out sooner or later. If you don't want to die, behave yourself. These are my men. If you continue to torment them, I'll kill you." Di Baiming could not help but smile bitterly. It's useless to scold them. They won't listen to your threats. Before Di Baiming could finish his words, he felt that his body had become much more comfortable. The layer of ice on his body had still turned into frost. Although he could not use his spiritual power, it was much better than before. Di Baiming. It seemed that not only were evil spirits afraid of evil people, many things were afraid of evil people. Hei Shinjio also noticed that Di Baiming's condition had improved a lot. She suddenly did not know how to show off. Pretty boy, how is it? I asked if you are convinced. You still want to chase me away? And you don't want to bring me in? If it weren't for me, you would be dead? I'm your lucky star. Treat me well in the future, do you hear me? Little Gio, aren't you sleepy? Go to sleep. I'm sleepy. After saying that, Di Baiming closed his eyes because he had a premonition that if he didn't do that, Hei Shinjio would definitely give him a long lecture. Hei Shinjio curled her lips. Anyway, the pretty boy's little tail was in her hands, so she had plenty of time to deal with him. There was no hurry, there was still plenty of time in the future. Since Di Baiming's condition was better, Hei Shinjio put on her coat again and wrapped Di Baiming in the nine-tailed fox's fur. Then, she yawned and fell asleep on the ground. As for the vigilance, Hei Shinjio let out a few silly cubs and let them keep an eye on the outside. Meng Yanshou stared at Di Baiming and Yun Chujio with his red rabbit eyes. His heart was filled with curiosity. Oh, that black-hearted little girl's fiancé was really the Lord? Who would have thought that the Lord would take a fancy to this little girl? Tiske, her taste was very unique. However, this little girl was also a little strange. Could she be the reincarnation of some big shot? Just as the nightmare beast was pondering over Hei Shinjio, Xiao Heinio pointed at it with its short wings and said, "Curly hair, you're the youngest, so you're the only one on duty today. We're going to sleep." Meng Yanshou said the nightmare beast was so angry that it gritted its teeth. If it wasn't for the fact that its shell wasn't strong enough, it would have plucked this fat bird into a bald chicken no matter what. It was too infuriating. Xiao Hong and the Red Fox also glared at Meng Yanshou with the same hatred. How could a non-contract beast compete with them for the pet? To dream on. Meng Yanshou was a down-and-out phoenix that was inferior to a chicken. He could only lower his head and stand guard at the entrance of the cave. However, this guy also had a good way to kill time. Read the script. Meng Yanshou lay at the entrance of the cave and read the script while paying attention to the movements outside. As he watched, he became fascinated. By the time he realized that something was wrong, his entire body had been stomped into pieces. Meng Yanshou floated out from under its huge hooves and cried out, "Oh no! There's a monster! Damn it, this is the first time I've opened my shell. I'm so aggrieved." Yun Chujio, Di Baiming, and Dumb Meng were awakened by the cries of Meng Yanshou. They saw that the entrance of the cave was tightly blocked. Apparently, the thing outside was too big, and only one leg had reached in. A fierce roar was heard. The nightmare beast floated to Hei Xinjia's side. "Master, quick, give me a powerful demonic beast to drive its shell. I want to take revenge." Meng Yanshou said. Hei Shinjio glanced at it, and then released a violent boar. "This is the one with the highest spiritual power in my place. You can use this." Hei Shinjio did not forget that the nightmare beast had said that if the Lord was her pretty boy, it would choose a boar to drive its shell. However, Meng Yanshou had said that if the Lord was her pretty boy, it would choose a boar to drive its shell. Meng Yanshou glanced at the violent boar and curled his lips. "I'd better choose a rabbit." Thus, Meng Yanshou once again turned into a wind-blade rabbit. The thing outside was obviously eager to enter, so it used its body to hit the hole, wanting to use brute force to expand the hole and then enter. Yun Chujio curled her lips. "Are you the only one who's grown up? Release De Hua and you'll be scared to death." Therefore, the thing released a group of piglets with spiritual power and pounced on the thing. The thing had probably never seen such a strange spiritual beast, so it subconsciously took a few steps back. Hei Shinjio lay on the ground and looked out. It was a giant beast with a strange appearance. It looked like a cow but also like a tiger. It was probably an ancient demonic beast, which was why it was not recorded in the ancient books. Meng Yanshou said from the side, "I know this thing. This is a bull-lion beast. Although it was not a powerful creature in the ancient times, it is still very difficult to deal with outside now. Fortunately, it only has a strong body and does not have any spiritual attack methods." Meng Yanshou sized up Yun Chujio and said proudly, "However, with your small body and those trash combined, you are not a match for the bull-lion beast. Do you need me to weave a dream for it?" Yun Chujio glanced at Meng Yanshou and said, "Get lost and stay away. I think you are the most trash." Meng Yanshou was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Xiao Heinio and the others were gloating at the side. They deserved it. "You still want to pretend to be a big clove in front of Blackheart's master? I want kill you." Meng Yanshou cursed in his heart. "You guys can keep gloating. Won't you still have to beg me to make a move later?" At this moment, Hei Shinjio had already reached the entrance of the cave. Since the bull-lion beast didn't have any spiritual power attack methods, he wasn't afraid of being ambushed by it. The bull-lion beast looked at the few piglets with spiritual power on its legs with a look of confusion and disdain. Were humans so weak now? The spiritual power materialized was actually a pig? And a piglet? Hey, you mixed breed of neither bull nor tiger. I'm warning you, get lost quickly. Or else I'll kill you. Hey Shinjio leaned against the entrance of the cave and said fiercely. Bull lion beast. Half-breed? Wasn't it a half-breed for short? This smelly girl's mouth was too mean. She simply cursed the beast without any swear words. She was a smelly girl at the 6th level of the Lingxian realm, and she actually threatened it? Was she crazy? When Yunchujio had just arrived at the Dark Continent, she had already adjusted the level of her spirit energy to the 6th level of the Lingxian realm. This guy was listless and evil. When it was time to show off, it was better to pretend to be a pig to eat a tiger. Bull lion beast. The bull lion beast roared, and its eyes were full of disdain. Its long fur trembled, and the piglets of spiritual power fell to the ground one after another. They dimmed, as if they were going to dissipate at any moment. The bull lion beast raised its leg and stepped on Hei Shinjio, who jumped into the cave with a whoosh. It grinned at the bull lion beast and said, "You hybrid, if you have the ability, why don't you come in? What's the use of growing so big? Idiot." The bull lion beast was about to explode in anger. Its roar was deafening. The nightmare beast stared at the rabbit and curled its 3-petal mouth. This little girl was simply courting death. If she hadn't angered the bull lion beast, it would have been able to hold on for a little longer. Now that the bull lion beast was enraged, perhaps the bull lion beast wouldn't care about living or dying anymore and would directly bury them alive inside. This little girl might come and beg it right away. When that time came, it would definitely taunt and ridicule her, so that she would learn a lesson, so that she would not have to teach it a lesson all the time. Di Baiming looked at Hei Shinjio with some worry, and Hei Shinjio smiled at him. "Beauty, don't worry, I will definitely protect you." Di Baiming. If not for his guilt, Di Baiming really wanted to teach the smug Hei Shinjio a lesson. Unfortunately, it wasn't just a matter of guilt. Right now, he had the heart but not the strength. It was uncertain who would teach who a lesson. At this moment, the bull lion beast outside the cave had gone mad with anger. Just as it was about to use the giant horn on its head to collapse the cave, it realized that its tail was being pulled by something. Its body couldn't help but retreat. The bull lion beast turned around with a terrified expression. It saw a huge purple pig using its hooves to pull its tail. Its eyes were filled with disdain and ridicule. The bull lion beast was a little dumbfounded. This thing was a spiritual beast? A huge purple pig? The pig had turned into a spirit? The 2 rabbit eyes of the nightmare beast, Meng Yanshou, were dumbfounded. Holy shit! No wonder the black-hearted little girl was fearless. Her spiritual beast was actually this thing? Although it was a little weak now, it would be a big deal in the future. No wonder the Lord and her son of bitch saw eye to eye with Xingzun. It seemed that this little girl was really not simple. Meng Yanshou decided to be obedient in the future. Whether it was the Lord or this little girl, it could not afford to offend them. If it was obedient, it might be able to return to its original form very soon. After the initial confusion, the bull lion beast came back to its senses and shook its tail vigorously, trying to shake De Hua off. But, it didn't shake. This was awkward. The bull lion beast couldn't shake De Hua off, and it couldn't reach its tail, so it could only spin in circles and roar in anger. After a while, De Hua dissipated. The bull lion beast was instantly delighted. It almost forgot that although this damn giant pig was difficult to deal with, it was only a spiritual beast after all. It would disappear very soon. What was it afraid of? At this moment, a group of spiritual piglets pounced out from the cave. The bull lion beast immediately vented its anger on these piglets, using its horns and hooves to step on them. The piglets with spiritual power quickly turned extremely dim. Before the bull lion beast could be happy, its tail was grabbed by something again. The bull lion beast turned around and saw that it was the giant purple pig again. What the hell was going on? Where did it come from? Obviously, the bull lion beast had never seen such a strange transformation method of a spiritual power beast. Therefore, it was a little confused and did not know what to do. It even suspected that there was a person hiding behind it who specifically ambushed it. The bull-lion beast once again circled around in the same spot. It was so angry that it could not take it anymore. However, Hei Shinjio just happened to be making sarcastic remarks at the entrance of the cave. "Hey, hybrid breed, I told you you were stupid. How could you not reach your own tail? Come, kitten, show it." Because the kitten was too weak, it did not have the opportunity to show off. After being called out, it naturally put in all its effort and played dozens of tricks with its tail. The bull-lion beast almost fainted from anger. Could it be the same as the kitten? Its body was so big, and its tail was so short, how could it possibly reach it? "I'm not criticizing you, it's a hybrid breed. You said that you were eugenically bred, why didn't you pick the merits to evolve? If you had a long tiger tail, wouldn't it be over? You are a classic case of eugenics and eugenics failure. Look at your ugly appearance. Look at your cow nose and nose, they are simply too ugly. How about this, you can just kill yourself. Anyway, you are wasting the resources here, so you might as well make room for a good beast." The bull-lion beast was so angry that it roared and then fell to the ground, foaming at the mouth. It actually fainted out of anger. Meng Yansh's rabbit eyes almost popped out. "Oh, this little girl made the bull-lion beast faint out of anger?" He didn't know whether he should praise this little girl for her sharp tongue or blame this bull-lion beast for being too narrow-minded. The nightmare beast jumped in front of the bull-lion beast and kept releasing wind blades. Unfortunately, it was too weak and only cut off a lock of the bull-lion beast's fur. Just as the nightmare beast was about to blind the bull-lion beast, Yun Chujio stopped it. "The pretty boy can't move now. He just happens to be lacking a mount. I think this hybrid is quite good. The pretty boy should be quite comfortable lying on it." Just as the nightmare beast was confused, it saw Yun Chujio forming a seal with her hands. She actually wanted to establish a temporary contract with the bull-lion beast. Just as the nightmare beast was about to persuade Yun Chujio to say that the spiritual sense of the ancient demon beast was strong and that it was not easy to tame it, it saw that Yun Chujio had already succeeded in forming a contract with Meng Yanshou. The nightmare beast swallowed its saliva. Alright, a monster was indeed a monster. However, that was also true. Even though the ugly bird and those idiots were too weak to look at them directly, when they grew up, they wouldn't be easily provoked. Since the little girl was able to establish a contract with them, it wasn't strange that she was able to establish a temporary contract with this bull-lion beast. The bull-lion beast woke up very quickly. It felt that it had nothing left to live for. Not only was the majestic ancient demon beast angered to the point of fainting, but it was actually signed into a temporary contract by this smelly human girl in a daze. It was simply the saddest bull-lion beast in history. There was no other one. "Bull, you will be my mount from now on. Don't worry, when I leave this place, I will let you leave. I'm so sleepy you stand guard outside. I'm going to go in and sleep." Daniel? Although the bull-lion beast could not tell what was wrong with this name, how could it, a dignified bull-lion beast, be called such a lame name? It was simply hopeless. Hei Shinjio yawned as she entered the cave. She hugged Di Baiming's neck and kissed his lips. "Little beauty, this young master has tamed the monster. Let's go back to sleep." Di Baiming, "Endure. A man can bend and stretch. Black thing, just you wait." After a good night's sleep, the first thing Hei Shinjio did when she woke up the next day was to tease a certain lord. "Little beauty, did you sleep well last night? Were you mesmerized by my heroic bearing when I tamed the beast? Come, let me give you a sweet smell." Hei Shinjio kissed Di Baiming on the lips as she spoke and even bit him with her teeth. Di Baiming's ears and neck turned red even though he was shivering from the cold. No one knew if he was embarrassed or angry. "Little Jio, don't go too far." "Go too far? Are you going too far? You played me so miserably. I didn't have the face to settle the score with you yesterday when I saw you half dead. And you said I went too far? Did I treat you as a maid? Did I shut you out of the door? Did I ask you to pour wine? I made you fall off the flying sword." Every time Hei Shinjio asked a question, Di Baiming's imposing manner would decrease by a bit. In the end, he did not dare to say another word. Pretty boy, let me tell you, there is cause and effect. This is the bitter fruit that you planted yourself. Even if you cry, you have to eat it. Come, beauty, let's have another fragrance. Di Baiming was in pain but also happy. On one hand, Yun Chujio kissing him was something that he could not wish for. However, on the other hand, he was a man. Being teased by his little wife, he simply did not want to live anymore. Meng Yanshou used his claws to cover the mouth of Xingzun and snickered. This black-hearted little girl was really something. He did not expect the Lord to be so defeated. Could it be that the Lord liked this style of Xingzun? Tieskedise, his taste was really different from the others. Meng Yanshou was watching the show when he noticed the Lord glancing at him. Meng Yanshou suddenly shivered. It was over. It was over. One misstep could lead to eternal hatred. The Lord would definitely not forgive Xingzun after he recovered. Meng Yanshou was so regretful that his intestines were turning green. He was using his life to watch the show. Meng Yanshou quickly thought of a way to remedy the situation. Therefore, when He Xinjiu wanted to tease Di Baiming again, Meng Yanshou grinned and shouted, "Little fairy, shouldn't you interrogate that stupid bull?" Yun Chujio slapped her thigh. Yes, it was time to get down to business. Meng Yanshou saw Yun Chujio leaving the cave to interrogate the bull-lion beast. He carefully approached Di Baiming and said in a low voice, "Your Excellency, I was wrong. Please spare me." Di Baiming snorted, "Let's see your performance in the future." Meng Yanshou immediately expressed its loyalty, "Your Excellency, don't worry. From now on, I will be with the little fairy and my heart will be with you. You are the man I have been waiting for 10,000 years. I will be your beast in the future." Di Baiming, get lost. Meng Yanshou said obsequiously, "Good, good, then I'll leave now. I'll help you keep an eye on the little fairy." Meng Yanshou heaved a sigh of relief. No matter what, he had temporarily passed this hurdle. When Meng Yanshou reached the outside of the cave, Yun Chujio was interrogating the bull-lion beast. "Daniel, let me ask you, where is the 1,000-leaf golden grade lotus in the fallen god abyss?" Yun Chujio asked. Although the bull-lion beast didn't think much of the name, Daniel, it was at least much better than a hybrid breed, so it tacitly agreed. It thought for a while and said, "This god-perishing abyss is very big. My territory is only in the periphery of the god-perishing abyss. I've never dared to enter it, so I don't know where there is a 1,000-leaf golden grade lotus. However, I heard that there is a big lake in the center of the god-perishing abyss. Maybe there is a 1,000-leaf golden grade lotus there. However, the deeper you go, the more dangerous it is. I advise you not to go in." Yun Chujio asked a few more questions and found that the bull-lion beast didn't know anything. She had no choice but to return to the cave. He Xinjiu first kissed Di Baiming's lips and then said casually, "Little beauty, I've asked the bull-lion beast just now. It doesn't know anything about the situation inside. What should we do next?" Di Baiming automatically filtered out the title of Little Beauty. He thought for a while and said, "The fallen god abyss will only appear for 2 months, and the exit is in the big lake inside. If we can't get out in 2 months, we don't know how long it will take for us to get out again. However, I don't have any spiritual power now, and it's difficult for me to walk. If we go in, I'm afraid that we will be doomed." He Xinjiu blinked her eyes and said, "It's okay. I can let Daniel carry you. Let's go to the territory next door and explore the way first. If it really doesn't work, we don't have to go in. Anyway, with the little beauty accompanying me, I'm willing to stay here for the rest of my life." Di Baiming's heart warmed, and just when he was about to say something, He Xinjiu continued, "It's just because of Go Weiba that we can't have sex every day. It's such a pity. Otherwise, this young master will definitely satisfy the little beauty. It's not a problem for us to have sex dozens of times a day." Di Baiming, "Do you think you're a lion? Dozens of times? No, it should be him who wants to have sex dozens of times. Fuck, I don't want to talk anymore. Di Baiming's gloomy face was about to flare up when He Xinjiu leaned over and kissed him again. "Little beauty, I'll go out and arrange Daniel. Then we can set off." Di Baiming was speechless as he looked at He Xinjiu's back. He gritted his teeth. Patience was a virtue. He had to endure it. He Xinjiu went outside and fixed a soft cushion on the back of the bull-lion beast. Anyway, the bull-lion beast was very big. Not to mention Di Baiming, even two people lying side by side would not be a problem. After Yun Chujio made the necessary arrangements, she returned to the cave and said slyly, "Little beauty, I have already prepared the transportation for you. I will carry you out now." Di Baiming had already broken the jar and did whatever he wanted. Anyway, he had remembered every single stroke. It was not too late for a gentleman to take revenge. Yun Chujio saw that Di Baiming was actually calm. This guy blinked his eyes and used his hands to support his body. He looked down at Di Baiming and said, "Little beauty, let's make out again before you come out of the cave." He Xinjiu said and went to untie Di Baiming's clothes. A certain someone could not stay calm anymore. "Little Jiu, stop." Di Baiming stretched out his hand and grabbed He Xinjiu's claw with great effort. He Xinjiu blinked her eyes. "Beauty, are you shy? How about this? If you take the initiative to kiss me, I'll spare you. Otherwise, I won't be polite." Di Baiming's eyes were about to burst into flames, and he snorted coldly, "I can't move my body. It's okay. I can just stay close to you." He Xinjiu pouted and moved closer to Di Baiming's lips. Di Baiming gritted his teeth. When he finally raised his head and was about to touch He Xinjiu's lips, He Xinjiu tilted her head and giggled, "Little beauty, I'm just teasing you. You're really kissing me. You're so thick-skinned." Di Baiming. He Xinjiu saw that Di Baiming's head was starting to emit white smoke. This was because it was originally covered in frost, but Di Baiming was so angry that the frost had turned into mist. This fellow knew when to stop and giggled, "I'm just teasing you. Let's go, let's go." Although Di Baiming was half-dead angry, he had no way to escape He Xinjiu's claws. He could only let He Xinjiu put him on the bull-lion beast's back. The bull-lion beast shivered from the cold. Although He Xinjiu put a soft cushion on its back and Di Baiming still had the nine-tailed fox's fox skin, it still could not block the cold air from Di Baiming's body. The bull-lion beast thought, "This person is too resistant to the cold, right? He did not die even though he was like this? What a pervert! Bull, let's go. I will help you take care of your mortal enemy. We will take over its territory," He Xinjiu said as she stood on the back of the bull with her hands on her hips. The bull-lion beast did not make a sound. He thought to himself, "Just keep bragging. You will know how powerful you are when the time comes." The bull-lion beast dashed forward quickly. Even so, it did not feel any bumps on the back of the bull. He Xinjiu hugged Di Baiming and flirted with him from time to time. Suddenly, she felt refreshed and became the owner of the bull-lion beast. "Little beauty, come here and give me a sweet smell. Little beauty, give me a smile. Little beauty, your little hands are really pretty. Let me touch them." Meng Yanshou squatted behind him and stared at him with his rabbit eyes. He couldn't even close his three mouths. Io, this black-hearted little girl was simply courting death and trying to reach a new height. She was going to gloat. When that person recovered, he would definitely not let her off. However, these lines sounded pretty good. This daddy here would remember them first. He might be able to use them when he was trying to seduce his wife in the future. Meng Yanshou did not know that because of this misconception, this guy had been single for thousands of years and had been beaten up countless times by the lady as a second-rate bastard. A few hours later, the bull-lion beast slowed down. It used its spiritual sense to say to Yun Chujio, "The territory of the Tun Tianhu is ahead. It's a female tiger, very fierce. I once chased my prey and accidentally entered its territory. I chased it for 3 days and 3 nights, and it was not easy for me to escape with my life." He Xinjiu felt an inexplicable sense of treachery and love from these words. A bull and a tigress? The tigress was still chasing after it? Could it be that the tigress had taken a fancy to this bull-lion beast? Was it just that this bull-lion beast had misunderstood? If that was the case, she didn't mind being a matchmaker. After all, this was her old profession. She had helped millions of snow jade silkworms to pair up. Seeing He Xingjia's eyes darting around, the nightmare beast knew that this fellow had no good intentions. Meng Yanshou was not afraid of He Xingjiu. He carefully reminded her, "Little fairy, like the bull-lion beast, the heaven-devouring tiger only has brute force. It does not have any spiritual attack methods. However, it is much more agile than the bull-lion beast. You have to be careful." Yun Chujio nodded her head and instructed the bull-lion beast to continue moving forward. The bull-lion beast was obviously still fearful of being chased out the last time, so it did not walk very quickly. It kept looking around, afraid that the Tun Tianhu would appear from somewhere. Yun Chujio could not help but laugh. "You can go ahead boldly. If it really comes out, it'll enlarge Dehua and you can take care of it." The bull-lion beast thought about it and agreed. It now had helpers. Although that giant purple pig was detestable, with its help, it could still contend with that damn tigress. Thinking of this, the bull-lion beast had more confidence and sped up. At this moment, an earth-shaking tiger roar was heard in the distance. It was as if the earth trembled with it. The bull-lion beast immediately cowered and said with a trembling voice, We should go back. That tigress is too scary." Yun Chujio ignored it and stretched her neck to look into the distance. She saw an extremely large and colorful tiger walking over. Yun Chujio clicked her tongue in wonder. "Daniel, this Tun Tianhu looks really good. If your child follows his mother in the future, he will definitely be very beautiful." The bull-lion beast stared at the cow with a dumbfounded expression. Was this little girl talking nonsense? It and that tiger child? What a joke! That's its enemy. It wants to eat its enemy. How could they have a child together? However, if it really followed the tigress, it could improve the breed of its offspring, especially this cow, Nose, and Nose, which were really ugly. The bull-lion beast was successfully led astray by He Xingjiu, so much so that it even forgot its fear. It looked at the fur of the Tun Tianhu with an infatuated gaze. If its child also had such a beautiful fur, how great would that be? The Tun Tianhu was also a little dumbfounded. Was there something wrong with that bull-lion beast? Why did it look at it with such a strange gaze? Did it have an eye disease? Also, why were there two people on its back? Also, what the hell was that rabbit behind it? A grade 1 demonic beast? How could a grade 1 demonic beast appear here? This was simply impossible. Just as Tun Tianhu was feeling suspicious, he heard the human girl on the bull-lion beast's back giggle and say, "Miss Hu, you're really beautiful. You're the most beautiful demonic beast I've ever seen." The few demonic beasts in the spiritual beast bag were instantly displeased. "Pa! What was so good-looking about a broken tiger? How could it be better looking than them?" The heaven-swallowing tiger was even more dumbfounded. What the hell was Miss Hu? The most beautiful demonic beast? This could be found. This little human girl still had good taste. "Miss Hu, I am here today to matchmake. Big Nyo has secretly liked you for a long time, but he didn't have the courage to confess, so he specially asked me to come here today to matchmake," He Xingjiu said with a smile. When the bull-lion beast heard He Xingjiu's words, he immediately knelt down on the ground, scaring the bull to death. He had a crush on this tigress. What kind of joke was this? Although the tigress was pretty, her life was still more important. Yun Chujio hugged Di Baiming, who was beside her, to prevent him from falling down. She said to Tun Tianhu with a smile, "Miss Hu, look, Daniel has knelt down to express his love for you. Can you consider it? After all, you guys could barely be considered as a type of demonic beast. Moreover, height is not a distance, age is not a difference. It is also possible to fall in love among different races. Moreover, you guys are old acquaintances. This can be considered as childhood sweethearts. If you guys are not together, it is simply impossible for the heavens to tolerate it. If you waste fate, you will be struck by lightning." Boom! A bolt of lightning struck Tun Tianhu's body. Tan Tianhu was struck dumb. What did it do wrong? Was it struck by lightning for no reason? Could it really be like what that little human girl said, because it wasted its fate with the bull-lion beast? The bull-lion beast's eyes immediately lit up. Heavens! Could it be that it and the tigress were really fated? Although this tigress was fierce, she was good-looking, so it was not unacceptable. Moreover, if the two of them got together, wouldn't their territory expand? It was really a good thing to kill two birds with one stone. Hei Xinjiu was also quite dumbfounded. She originally thought that the crow's mouth skill was her imagination, but she did not expect it to reappear in the martial arts world. It was just that this skill was sometimes effective and sometimes not. It was really a flaw in the beauty. For a moment, the scene was silent. Hei Xinjiu was the first to regain her senses. She smiled and said, "Miss Hu, did you see it? You and Daniel are fated to be together. If you don't pretend to be together on another day, you can get married today. One bow to heaven and earth, two bows to the high hall. The ceremony is complete. You are now a legal couple. In the future, you must respect and love each other. Do you hear me?" Tan Tianhu and the bull-lion beast were dumbfounded. What was that? You touched your upper and lower lips and kissed them, and they became husband and wife? Tan Tianhu roared angrily. It did not believe in this damn fate. It did not want to marry that stupid bull. And this human little girl must be playing with it. It must eat her today. Tan Tianhu suddenly leaped forward and went straight for the bull-lion beast's neck. The bull-lion beast jumped up in fright and started running. It said that the female tiger was not to be trifled with, but the little girl refused to believe it and insisted on being a matchmaker. This was great. The female tiger was completely enraged. It was going to die. Hei Xinjiu narrowed her eyes. She was definitely going to be the matchmaker today. This fellow shook his hand and released several piglets with spiritual power. Although the Tan Tianhu was a little surprised, it did not think much in its rage. It used its tail and claws to slap the piglets with spiritual power. Then, De Hua appeared lazily. The Tan Tianhu retreated in shock. How could there be such a big spiritual pig? And it was purple in color? Seeing De Hua appear, the bull-lion beast finally had some confidence. Yun Chujio carried Di Biming and jumped off the bull-lion beast's back. She said with a smile, "Denyo, now is the time to show off your arrogance. Go. I have high hopes for you." The bull-lion beast had been holding back its anger for a long time, but it could not beat the heaven-swallowing tiger. Now with De Hua's help, it suddenly had confidence. It roared and rushed towards the heaven-swallowing tiger. Although Tun Tian's spiritual power was higher than that of the bull-lion beast, there was still De Hua who was causing trouble. Moreover, De Hua had fully grasped the essence of Hei Xinjiu and specifically attacked Tan Tianhu. Soon, Tan Tianhu lost its ability to resist and was pinned to the ground by the bull-lion beast. As long as the bull-lion beast used its horn, it could pierce through Tun Tian's throat, but it hesitated. The little girl was right. It had been with this female tiger for a long time and could be considered a childhood friend. It really could not bear to kill it just like that. Although this tigress was a little fierce and would occasionally chase after her to eat her, she didn't eat her after all, did she? It wouldn't be bad if she gave birth to a litter of little tigers. Hei Xinjiu was very shrewd. First, she established a temporary contract with Tan Tianhu, then she said, "Erhu, look at how tenacious Daniel is. He could have killed you but didn't do it. What does this mean? It means that he loves you deeply." Tan Tianhu, didn't they say that Miss Hu would become Erhu? However, she didn't expect that stupid cow to be so heroic. It didn't seem to be that useless. Seeing this, Yun Chujio didn't say anything more. It was obvious that Tan Tianhu was starting to loosen up. It wouldn't be good to force it. Hei Xinjiu said with a smile, "You two make your own decisions. Let's continue moving forward. Let's go." As a result, there was another Tan Tianhu in Hei Xinjiu's team. Yes, Miss Earth. It was fine if the bull-lion beast had not awakened before, but now that it had awakened, the Tan Tianhu looked beautiful no matter how one looked at it. Its two bull eyes stared at the Tan Tianhu nonstop. The Tun Tianhu was very shy from being stared at, and its head was about to sink into the ground. He Xinjiu sat on the back of the bull, hugged Di Biming, and said with a smile, "Little beauty, look at this bull having feelings. Doesn't the tiger have any thoughts about the scene?" Di Biming's eyes twitched. "I don't have any thoughts. What do you have in mind?" He Xinjiu lowered her head as her eyes sparkled. She said seriously, "I want to kiss you." As it was daytime, Di Biming's health was better. When he heard Yun Chujia's words, his eyes darkened. He suddenly raised his hand and pulled He Xinjiu towards him. His lips carried a chill as he attacked the city. He Xinjiu, who had brought this upon herself, was soon kissed until she was dizzy. She did not know where she was going. However, this guy did not lose in battle. After he was finally let off by Di Biming, he said casually, "Little beauty, you are very enthusiastic today. I am very satisfied. I will reward you handsomely." Di Biming was so angry that his eyes were burning. However, after the previous struggle, he had used up all his strength. He could only glare at He Xinjiu. At this moment, the sky had already darkened. Yun Chujiu chose a place to shelter from the wind. She took out an all-purpose tent and carried Di Biming inside. As the night deepened, Di Biming's condition started to deteriorate again. Yun Chujiu's warning did not have any effect. Yun Chujiu could only force Di Biming to drink some of her blood. Only then did he improve slightly. Yun Chujiu's brows were tightly knitted. The reason why she had been teasing Di Biming these past few days was firstly because she really wanted to teach Di Biming a lesson. Secondly, she wanted to see if she could suck the remaining things over by kissing him. However, it did not have any effect. Yun Chujiu had once communicated with Guai Chao, but Guai Chao could not speak. Yun Chujiu could only understand the meaning of its gestures. The gist of it was that it was still too weak. If those things did not take the initiative to attack, it had no way to suck it in for the time being. Yun Chujiu could not help but smile bitterly. What was this? There was a dog's tail growing in her dantian. No matter what, it could help her occasionally. The thing in the gigolo's body did not even know what was inside. It was simply fucking dog. Now it seemed that she could only wait for Guai Chao to become stronger, or for the gigolo to break the seal again and find a way to get rid of those things. Yun Chujiu saw that Di Biming's lips were blue and purple from the cold, and her heart ached. She took off her coat and hugged Di Biming again. The poor one was shivering from the cold, but its heart was burning like fire. It was simply indescribably sour. Outside the tent, the bull-lion beast looked at the sky-swallowing tiger lovingly. The sky-swallowing tiger lowered its head, looking shy. Meng Yanshou squatted beside the tent and felt that he had nothing left to live for. Other people always paired up, but he was the only single beast. It was simply torturing him to death. The next morning, Yun Chujiu and Di Biming had a simple breakfast. They climbed onto the back of the bull once again and headed towards the depths of the fallen god abyss. In the next few days, He Xinjia's strategy was to bluff as many demonic beasts as she could. If she couldn't bluff them, she would get the bull-lion beast and the rest to gang up on them and establish a temporary contract. Of course, there were also those who were accidentally killed, so she would reward the bull-lion beast and the others. Meng Yanshou squatted on the back of the bull and looked at the bunch of ancient demonic beasts following behind him. The shock in his heart was beyond words. Oh my God! How could she play like this? After walking for such a long time, other than moving her mouth, this black-hearted little girl was hugging the Shengzun and showing off her love. What happened in the end? Not only was she fine, but she had also recruited a group of thugs. It was simply unbelievable. Moreover, this black-hearted girl seemed to have gone crazy. Along the way, she had already set up several pairs of demonic beasts. Damn it, seeing them pair up in pairs, it was simply torturing. On this day, He Xinjiu successfully fooled another heaven-devouring lion. When Di Biming saw the heaven-devouring lion, his ears inexplicably heated up. He recalled what He Xinjiu had said dozens of times a day. Suddenly, some images appeared in his mind. He Xinjiu noticed that Di Biming's head was emitting white smoke. She asked curiously, "Little beauty, I'm not angry with you today. Why are you angry again?" When Di Biming heard Yun Chujia's question, his neck turned red instantly. "I'm trying to see if I can mobilize my spiritual power. Just do your thing." Hei Xinjiu didn't doubt it. She didn't expect that a certain master had gone astray. Hei Xinjiu then asked the heaven-devouring lion, "What kind of demonic beast's territory is it?" The heaven-devouring lion showed a terrified expression. "Little fairy, please don't go any further. If you go any further, it's a barren place. Some low-level demonic beasts in my territory accidentally entered by mistake. They almost bled to death the moment they stepped into that area. It's too scary." Yun Chujiu frowned. "It sounds quite scary. What happens after we pass through the area?" "I once climbed up the mountain and saw that the area was a lake filled with golden lotuses. It was simply too beautiful. However, I'm afraid that danger lurks everywhere inside," said the heaven-devouring lion. "Golden lotuses?" It was probably the 1,000-leaf golden-grade lotus. "That was great." Hei Xinjiu said excitedly, "Let's go to the edge of the place you mentioned." Although the heaven-devouring lion was extremely unwilling, he could only lead Hei Xinjiu and a bunch of demonic beasts forward. Before they reached the death zone mentioned by the heaven-devouring lion, the demonic beasts were already out of breath. It was as if there was a huge pressure enveloping them. It was too terrifying. Hei Xinjiu waved her hand and signaled the demonic beasts to stop. Di Biming frowned. "Little Jiu, this is probably the scariest thing in my memory, the pressure of God." Meng Yanshou said, "That's right. Your Excellency is right. This should be the legendary pressure of God. Little fairy, it seems that we have no way to enter." Yun Chujiu narrowed her eyes. Pressure of God? She was not even afraid of the pressure of Tiandao, so why would she be afraid of this bullshit pressure of God? If the God was extinct, how much pressure could be left behind? Hence, this fellow jumped off the back of the ox and took a few tentative steps forward, but nothing happened. He jumped a few more times, but nothing happened. Meng Yanshou's eyes were wide open. "Io, how is this possible? How could that black-hearted little girl be completely fine? That was the pressure of the gods." It was said that this fallen god abyss was the final place where the gods fell. Although the gods had already been destroyed, their remaining pressure was still there. Not to mention that little girl, even if the Lord did not have an old illness acting up, he would still need to spend a lot of effort to pass through. However, that little girl was not only fine, but she could even jump around? What the hell? The heaven-swallowing mad lion and the other demonic beasts were also dumbfounded. That little girl was simply inhuman. How could she be completely fine? A trace of surprise flashed across Di Biming's eyes. Although he knew that Yun Chujiu had many strange features, he did not expect that she could even withstand the pressure of God. Yun Chujiu hopped forward for some distance, and when she found that nothing had happened, she returned with a smile. "Little beauty, it's no problem for me to pass. I can also put these demonic beasts into the spirit beast bag. But what about you?" Hei Xinjiu tilted her head and asked Di Biming. Di Biming was not stupid. He naturally saw that Hei Xinjiu was showing off and showing off. He snorted coldly, "Anyway, there are still 5 more days before the fallen god abyss closes. Perhaps my body will recover in another 2 days. Let's stay nearby for now." Yun Chujiu pouted, "Don't you know that you have to be careful when doing things? What if something else happens? Therefore there's no time to lose. It's best to pass through this place immediately. Little beauty, don't worry. I've thought of a way to protect you." Di Biming was stunned. "What way?" "I'll put up a spiritual energy shield to protect you. It shouldn't be a problem." "Let's try it first," Hei Xinjiu said. Di Biming was so angry that he laughed. "Little Jiu, you're thinking too simply. If the spiritual energy shield works, will those demonic beasts die tragically?" Even if Di Biming objected, there was no way for him to escape Hei Xinjiu's demonic claws, so he could only be carried on Hei Xinjiu's shoulder. After Hei Xinjiu put up the spiritual energy shield, she took a few tentative steps inside and asked, "How is it?" Is it uncomfortable? D-Biming was shocked. It really worked? Seeing that D-Biming was fine, Hei Xinjiu was so smug that she didn't know what to do. This guy was so proud that he accidentally removed the spiritual energy barrier. When he reacted, he found that D-Biming wasn't abnormal. The two of them looked at each other. This world was so strange. Seeing that Yun Chujio and D-Biming were fine, Meng Yanshou also jumped over. Then he died. Half of Meng Yanshou's soul floated out of the rabbit's body that was already in a terrible state. He said with a hopeless expression, "Little fairy, can you change my body? I think Daniel and the others have good bodies. I'll choose one." The heaven-swallowing mad lion and the other demonic beasts trembled in fear. What kind of monster was this? Hei Xinjiu walked out of the death zone and took out another windblade rabbit from the great void mystic realm. Stop talking nonsense. If you don't want to run, continue to be a rabbit for me. Just as Meng Yanshou was about to argue, he saw D-Biming's cold gaze and immediately obediently continued to be a rabbit. Yun Chujio kept the demonic beasts and the nightmare beast into her spirit beast pouch and carried D-Biming forward. Hei Xinjiu asked D-Biming as she walked forward, "Can you sense the important thing you mentioned?" "Not yet, but I think it should be in the lake ahead," D-Biming said in a deep voice. Yun Chujio nodded. "Little beauty, don't worry. I will definitely help you get what you want. When the time comes, you have to serve me well." D-Biming was already numb to Hei Xinjiu, who was possessed by the acting talent. If she was willing to act, then ACT. Anyway, he would remember every single stroke. A lifetime was so long, there was no need to be afraid of settling accounts. "Take your time." Hei Xinjiu shivered for some reason and comforted herself. It was probably because the gigolo's body was too cold. Yes, that must be the case. When they were almost halfway there, a violent wind suddenly blew up in front of them. The sand on the ground was all swept up by the wind. Hei Xinjiu hurriedly raised her spiritual energy barrier to protect herself and D-Biming. There must be something wrong. Why was there a strong wind all of a sudden? Hei Xinjiu did not continue to walk forward. She stopped and took out a recliner and placed D-Biming on it. Then, she protected him behind her. After the strong wind passed, black gas gathered in all directions and gradually transformed into the figure of a woman. Her figure was graceful and beautiful. However, there was a sense of resentment between her brows. "Little Jiu, this is Yuan Sha. You have to be more careful." D-Biming reminded her from the side. He hated his own body to the extreme, but at this moment, something happened to him. Yuan Sha? Yun Chujio had seen the introduction of Yuan Sha in the ancient books. Yuan Sha was formed from the condensation of many vengeful souls. Although it was not a devil, it was not far from becoming a devil. Yun Chujio could not help but laugh. This fallen god pool was the place where the gods died. Their remnant souls actually condensed into Yuan Sha. In the end, they might even become devils. This was simply too ironic. Yuan Sha was also sizing up Hei Xinjiu and D-Biming. When it saw D-Biming, its eyes immediately burst with infatuation. What a handsome man! Yun Chujio was instantly enraged. "Damn it! Where are your eyes looking? That's my man. Are you courting death?" When D-Biming heard Yun Chujio's words, the corners of his mouth curled up. He loved to see the lively black things. "Oh, little girl, what a big tone. You are just a little girl who hasn't grown up. What qualifications do you have to compete with me?" Yuan Sha said as he looked at Hei Xinjiu's neck and above her abdomen with a mocking gaze. Hei Xinjiu followed Yuan Sha's gaze and lowered her head. Immediately, she became even more angry from embarrassment. She really had to bring up the pot to the kettle. Right now, the thing that she was most angry about was these two little steamed buns. However, although this fellow was angry in his heart, he said with a smile on his face, "Old woman, I'm sorry. My man likes me like this. I'm small and cute. Unlike some people, if you don't know, you'll think I'm a cow or a cow." Although D-Biming knew that the situation was not right, his ears were still red. small and cute, what he said was really impressive. When the Yuan Sha heard He Xinjia's words, its face immediately darkened. Stupid girl, I will not lower myself to your level. You can leave him here or I will kill you. Yun Chujio curled her lips. You are not even a ghost. What right do you have to threaten me? I also have a sentence for you. You can either get lost or die. It's your choice. Yuan Sha laughed crazily. Little girl, you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Since you are courting death, you can just absorb your remnant soul as my food. Yuan Sha's hands turned into sharp claws as he spoke and clawed at He Xinjio. He Xinjio looked at Yuan Sha with contempt and opened the green jade bottle in her hand. A huge demonic beast appeared in front of Yuan Sha. The demonic beast looked like a tiger, but it had a pair of slightly curved fangs. Its tail was very thick and there were saw teeth on it. Yuan Sha took a few steps back in shock. Tao? How did you get the remnant soul of Tao Wu? Yun Chujio was stunned. Damn it, she took the wrong one. She wanted to release those remnant souls, but why did she release Tao Wu? Speaking of which, Tao Wu seemed to have solidified a little more than when she first brought it in. This fellow thought that since Tao Wu's remnant soul had solidified, maybe the stupid and ferocious Cheong Chi could be released too. Hence, she opened another porcelain bottle. Cheong Chi flew out, but the fallen god Abyss forbade flying. He fell to the ground with a thud. Fortunately, his remnant soul did not fall. Cheong Chi grinned and said, Little fairy, you are getting worse. The moment I came out, you made me fall. I really like you. He Xinjio, it was indeed a familiar formula and a familiar smell. This fellow still deserved to be scolded. Cheong Chi turned around and saw Tao Wu. This fellow's mouth opened even wider. Little fairy, you're really too bad. You actually captured this trash Tao Wu? Ha! I knew you were the worst person. Yun Chujio looked at Cheong Chi speechlessly. Such a strange-looking ferocious beast was really a weirdo. Yuan Sha cried out in shock. How do you have the remnant souls of Tao Wu and Cheong Chi? Impossible. Haven't their souls already dissipated? Yun Chujio's heart skipped a beat and she probed. Their souls have dissipated? Don't spout nonsense. Tao Wu and Cheong Chi are the four great ancient ferocious beasts. How can their souls dissipate? Who could have such abilities? Yuan Sha snorted coldly. What an ignorant little girl. What do you know? Back then Forget it, I won't stoop to your level. If you return the way you came, I'll spare you. Yun Chujio originally wanted to get information from Yuan Sha, but now that Yuan Sha was unwilling to speak, she knew that she wouldn't be able to get anything out of him. Hence, she said, both of you are ancient ferocious beasts. Today, I will see which of you is stronger and kill it. Tao Wu and Cheong Chi looked at each other. When they were alive, they had been secretly competing with each other. Now, they naturally didn't show any weakness and pounced towards Yuan Sha. Yun Chujio was afraid that things might change if it was too late, so she summoned a group of piglets to help. Cheong Chi grinned happily. Little fairy, did you release a group of piglets to create trouble for us? You are too bad. You even cheated your own companions. I love you to death. As soon as Cheong Chi finished speaking, it felt a cold gaze staring at it. Only then did it notice that there was a man sitting beside the little girl. The man wore a silver mask on his face. Although his facial features could not be seen clearly, his sharp gaze was like a knife. Cheong Chi suddenly shivered. Its eyes were wide open. Oh God, it was actually that person? No, it must have sensed wrongly. This was impossible. It must have been stuck in the porcelain bottle for too long, so its eyes were blurry. Yes, that must be the case. When Cheong Chi came back to his senses, De Hua had already slowly appeared out of thin air. Cheong Chi's big eyeballs almost popped out. He looked at De Hua in disbelief. God, how did this foodie become like this? De Hua looked at Cheong Chi as if he was looking at an idiot, ignoring him. Cheong Chi felt that the entire beast was in bad shape. It must have been locked up for too long, and its brain was damaged. Could it be that the black-hearted little fairy had tampered with it, and that was why it was hallucinating? Such a wicked little fairy was really too cute. Yuan Sha was also quite shocked when it saw De Hua. What the hell was this thing? Yuan Sha gritted his teeth. Their strength was not even 1/10,000 of their original strength, so what was there to be afraid of? Thus, the four of them engaged in a chaotic battle. Of course, De Hua's endurance was unlimited. After it disappeared, it lazily reappeared a moment later. Qiongqi's mouth was wide open and he was happy again. Oh my god, it can be played like this? It's so fun. The little fairy really knows how to play. This beast likes her so much. How can there be such a bad person in this world? It's so magical. He Xinjiu looked at Qiongqi speechlessly and smiled like a fool. How could such a thing be considered an ancient beast? It was simply an idiot. Yuan Sha became more and more frustrated as they fought. Tao Wu and Qiongqi were even bigger than a horse. No matter what, they were the remnant souls of ancient ferocious beasts. The most detestable one was the pig that kept jumping out. It was useless even if they were scattered. After a while, it would jump out again. It was extremely detestable. Although that pig's spiritual power was not particularly high, it was extremely sinister. It was extremely detestable for it to secretly attack. It could not go on like this. It had to think of a way, or else it would definitely lose. It was not easy for it to develop its spiritual sense and cultivate such a skill. It could not die just like that, absolutely not. Yuan Sha looked at He Xinjiu coldly. Its hair suddenly grew and rolled towards He Xinjiu. Yuan Sha's idea was very simple. To catch a thief, one had to catch the leader first. As long as he could control that wretched girl, the rest would not be a problem. Yun Chujio did not expect Yuan Sha's hair to be a weapon. Although she had the spiritual energy shield, it was obviously unable to block Yuan Sha's attack. She also had to protect Di Baiming, so she was instantly entangled by Yuan Sha's hair. Yuan Sha exerted force and He Xinjiu was pulled to its front. It grabbed Yun Chujia's neck and said coldly, "Stop or I'll kill her." Tao Wu, Qiongqi, and De Hua had no choice but to stop. Qiongqi grinned and said, "You idiot. The little fairy is full of evil intentions. Just wait for your bad luck. Little fairy, don't worry. We know that you were caught by it on purpose. We won't save you. You have to work hard. We have high hopes for you." Yun Chujio, damn it. How could she have such a brainless beast? She really wanted to strangle it to death. Seeing that Yun Chujio was swept away by Yuan Sha, Di Baiming's eyes turned red, but he could not even stand up. Anger, regret, and pain filled his entire body. Yuan Sha grabbed He Xinjia's neck and laughed shrilly proudly. "Damn girl, I have to thank you properly. Not only did your soul become my food, but the remnant soul of the ancient beast was also a great tonic for me. Maybe I will become the Yuan Sha very soon. Ah, this is all thanks to you. Of course, that man is also mine. Such a top-notch man is really hard to come by. In the future, I can finally enjoy the joy of life." Yuan Sha tightened his grip as he spoke. Just when Tao Wu and De Hua were about to attack, they felt a bone-chilling chill. They turned around and saw Di Baiming standing up from the recliner. However, his eyes were bloodshot and he exuded a chilly aura. Chapter 3047, 10,000-year-old iceberg Yuan Sha was shocked by Di Baiming's murderous aura. Before it could react, Di Baiming waved his hand and Yuan Sha's body turned into ashes uncontrollably. Tao Wu, Qiongqi, De Hua, He Xinjiu, where was the group fight? Where was the agonizing pain? Where was the 300-round battle? Was it over just like that? A one-hit kill? There was no sense of accomplishment, all right. Di Baiming glanced at He Xinjiu, who was sitting on the ground and gasping for air, and said coldly, "Come here." He Xinjiu had wanted to use the kitchen knife to cut Yuan Sha's hair, but Yuan Sha's hair blocked her spiritual power, so she had no way to use the kitchen knife. If she had known earlier, she would not have kept the kitchen knife in her storage ring. Hei Shinjio stood up, took out the kitchen knife and put it on her waist. Then, she jumped towards Di Baiming. "Little beauty, thank you. Otherwise, I would have died." Hei Shinjio said it out loud and realized that something was wrong. Unfortunately, it was too late. Di Baiming pinched Hei Xinjia's chin and his gaze was as cold as ice. "What did you say just now?" Hei Shinjio gulped. Fuck. Could it be that this gigolo had unlocked another layer of seal? Was it an iceberg this time? Or was it an iceberg that would not melt for thousands of years? Come and read on our website Wuxiao World site. Thanks, this guy had always been flexible. He said obsequiously, "Prince Charming, I said that my little beauty is lucky to be saved. Otherwise, I would be dead." "Is that so? What's wrong with me?" Me? I'm talking about me. I call myself main front of you." "Well, that's it." Hei Shinjio rolled her eyes. It was better to be careful before figuring out the situation. Who knew whether this newly made pretty boy would punish her regardless of their old friendship? It was better to be careful. Di Baiming frowned and turned to look at Tao Wu and the other two. He asked coldly, "Did she just say mirror me?" Seeing that the situation was not good, De Hua crashed into Cheong Chi and disappeared. Cheong Chi. Fuck. It was too fucking bad. However, I like bad people, not bad beasts. Just you wait. Hei Shinjio gave Tao Wu and Cheong Chi a meaningful look. She blinked so hard that her eyes were about to cramp up. Tao Wu did not say anything. Cheong Chi said to Di Baiming flatteringly, "Sir, whatever you say. You said that I am me. You said that I am me. Well, I have been out for a long time. It's time for me to return to the bottle. Please be busy. Please be busy." After saying that, Cheong Chi went into the ancient jade bottle that had fallen to the ground. What a joke. If he did not hide, would he be implicated? Tao Wu bowed to Di Baiming and went into another ancient jade bottle. Only Hei Shinjio was left alone in the scene. A certain Jio suddenly felt a huge pressure. Damn it, none of these idiots were reliable. They escaped at the crucial moment. Just as Hei Shinjio was cursing in her heart, Di Baiming's cold voice sounded again. "Hey Dong, how do you think I should punish you?" Hei Shinjio suddenly felt that everything ahead was dark. It was over. The gigolo was going to take revenge. If she had known earlier, she would not have been so smug a few days ago. If she was given a second chance, she would definitely not tease the gigolo. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Just as Hei Shinjio was thinking, Di Baiming fell to the ground. Hei Shinjio was shocked and quickly carried Di Baiming on the soft couch. She found that there was frost on Di Baiming's body again, and it quickly turned into solid ice. Hei Shinjio did not care much and quickly cut a wound on her arm and dripped blood into Di Baiming's mouth. A moment later, Di Baiming woke up. Seeing that Yun Chujio was safe, he let out a sigh of relief. "Little Jio, are you okay?" Yun Chujio was stunned. Why did she change back? This fellow did not dare to act rashly. He asked tentatively, "How do you feel? What happened just now?" "I was worried about your safety. In a moment of desperation, I seem to have broken through a little of the seal. However, I can't remember what exactly happened. It's good that you are fine." Di Baiming was extremely afraid. If he had not broken through the seal temporarily, the consequences were simply unimaginable. Yun Chujia's eyes lit up. So it was only temporary. She was scared to death. "Little beauty, I was really scared. Come, let's have some incense to comfort my scared little heart." Hei Shinjio pouted and kissed Di Baiming's lips. This guy had long forgotten about what he had said just now. If she were to do it all over again, she would change her ways. Today was the day she drank. Today was the day she drank. She did not care about the worries of tomorrow. Di Baiming had no choice but to let women, hooligans do whatever they wanted. After being tortured, he said, "Since the remnant souls are not affected here, release the ancient remnant souls and take out the corpses of the ancient cultivators you found in the Shura prison. Let them try to possess you." Hei Shinjio clapped her hands. She had almost forgotten about that. Therefore, the guy released the 4 lords of the remnant souls and took out the corpses of the ancient cultivators. He said smugly, "Come on. You can choose for yourselves. There are all kinds of men, women, and children. Choose whichever one you like." Fu Ao and the other 2 were overjoyed. They had been looking forward to this day for a long time. Although the corpses were not their real bodies, they were all the corpses of the ancient cultivators. They should be able to withstand their remnant souls. Therefore, after picking and choosing, each of them chose a corpse of an ancient cultivator. However, it turned out that they could not fuse with each other. Fu Ao sighed. "Little girl, someone has placed a restriction on these corpses. Our remnant souls are unable to fuse with them." Hei Shinjio was stunned. There was such a method? Fuck, this was too much. When she returned to the Chaos Origin sect, she would definitely seek revenge from the Qi Ling of the Azura prison. She had been in high spirits, but it was all for naught. Fu Ao and the others comforted Hei Shinjio and returned to the ancient jade bottle. Hei Shinjio put away the corpses with her head lowered, feeling a little down. Seeing this, Di Baiming comforted her, "Little Jiao, you don't have to be sad. It's just that the time hasn't come yet. You'll find a way to break the restriction sooner or later." Hei Shinjio nodded. Sooner or later, there would be a way. This guy's self-adjustment ability was very strong, and he soon became lively again. "Little beauty, let's go. It'll take you to see the lotus flowers. It's said that people are more beautiful than flowers. In my heart, you're the most beautiful." Oh, so obedient. Di Baiming. Hei Shinjio carried Di Baiming and walked through the death zone in high spirits. In the distance, she saw a big lake full of golden lotus flowers. It was so beautiful that people couldn't believe that it was a real beauty. Di Baiming suddenly said, "Little Jiao, what I need should be in the lake. However, I also feel a huge threat. Be careful." Hei Shinjio released the Meng Yanshou. After all, it was as if it was not dead even if it died. She just needed to change its shell. "Curly hair, go ahead and scout the way." "Alright, I'll go now." The Meng Yanshou's attitude was extremely upright. This fellow was already shocked by Yun Chujia's perversion. Oh my god! This black-hearted little girl actually had the remnant souls of Tao Wu and Qiongqi? She must have a powerful background, so it was better to serve her carefully. Meng Yanshou hopped closer to the Great Lake. When he was still a few hundred feet away from the Great Lake, he saw golden mist drifting out from each blooming golden lotus flower and finally condensing into a glittering monk. Meng Yanshou was dumbfounded. What was this thing? Demon? He had never heard of a demon becoming a monk. In order to show off in front of Hei Shinjio, Meng Yanshou opened his red eyes and shouted, "Hey! For you! This penniless monk is not a thing. This penniless monk is formed from the essence of the Buddha lotus. Almsgivers, why are you here?" The monk asked in a calm tone. "Ha! I'm dying of laughter. He actually said that he is not a thing. Ha!" Meng Yanshou laughed and rolled on the ground. The monk acted as if he didn't hear it. He didn't show any dissatisfaction but looked calmly at Hei Shinjio and Di Baiming. Di Baiming frowned and whispered into Yun Chujia's ear, "There's something strange. Be careful." Hei Shinjio agreed and took out the reclining chair to settle Di Baiming. Then she said to the monk, "We came here to pick some lotus flowers. We also want to know the way out of here. Master, can you do us a favor?" The monk shook his head. "These are all lotus flowers and none of them can be touched. Since you have entered this place, there is no way to leave. You'd better leave quickly, or you will regret it." Hei Shinjio curled the corner of her mouth. Who said that these lotus flowers cannot be touched? Besides, there is a passage to leave under this lake. Are you trying to fool me? Don't think that just because you've made yourself so shiny, you can pretend to be a ghost in front of me. I'm not afraid of this. Little master? The corner of Di Baiming's eyes twitched. Was this a natural habit? The golden monk was not angry when he heard that. Instead, he sat cross-legged and began to recite the scriptures. Meng Yanshou held his head and said, "Little fairy, my head hurts." I can't listen to this thing. Pandy and Zero Vel. Calm seeing this, Yun Chujio had no choice but to put Meng Yanshou into the spiritual beast bag. Then, she rolled her eyes and said with evil intentions, "Hey master, have you heard that emptiness is color and color is emptiness?" The monk paused and was about to speak when He Xinjiu leaned over and kissed Di Baiming's lips. She even reached into Di Baiming's clothes and touched everywhere. He Xinjiu said while taking advantage of him, "Hey. See. This is lust. Come, explain to me, why is this also called Kong? Little Jiu, you are very good. I will repay you properly." Di Baiming said through gritted teeth. His eyes were as deep as a bottomless abyss. He Xinjiu shivered, but she did not take her hand out. It felt really good to not take advantage of a bastard. The monk was obviously confused. He stuttered, "Female benefactor, please have some self-respect. Emptiness is lust, not your lust. I don't care which one it is. Why are you stuttering? Do you have a common sense and want to find a wife to warm your bed? Do you also want to taste the 7 emotions and 6 desires?" Just as the monk was about to defend himself, He Xinjiu continued, "You are still saying that the world is empty. Let me ask you, since you are empty, why are you so stingy? Why don't you let me pick these lotus flowers? Since you are merciful, why do you want to trap us here? Why don't you let us out? You are just a fake merciful monk. Since you are also bald, I decided to negotiate with you. Don't be so shameless. Let me ask you, are you going to move or not?" The monk was dumbfounded. Was she also bald? Was she also bald? Was the hair on her head fake? Recalling what Yun Chujio had said, the monk was at a loss. He mumbled to himself, "Yes. Since I have nothing to do, why do I still have to guard the lotus flowers? Since I have cast aside the distracting thoughts of the mortal world, why am I still not allowed to go out?" He Xinjiu continued, "The Buddha is sitting in the heart, and the meat and wine are passing through the intestines. You are too rigid. There are so many lotus flowers. So what if I pick a few? It's not like they won't grow in the future. Besides, you won't let us go. Do you want to continue watching US make out? Do you want to watch US make love? I know. You must think so. I didn't expect you to be such a monk. No, it's not like that. This penniless monk didn't want to peek at you. Yes, you insisted. Female benefactor, please respect yourself. Amitba." The monk was obviously confused. When he saw He Xinjiu kiss Di Baiming again, he immediately closed his eyes. Di Baiming whispered in Yun Chujia's ear, "I remember the background of this monk. It was said that there was once a respected master who volunteered to come to the fallen god Abyss to resolve the grievance. He probably failed in the end. His obsession attached itself to the lotus flowers and eventually turned into the monk in front of him." Yun Chujio nodded. This monk was quite pitiful. She sighed, "Why do you need to do that? The grievance will dissipate one day. Everything in the world has its own way. Why do you need to interfere?" The monk was dazed. He asked in a daze, "Are you saying that everything that I did was unnecessary? I allowed the lotus flowers to purify the resentment here and guarded the exit so that no one could get out. It was also to prevent the news from leaking out so that no one would come here to die. Why did you say that what I did was unnecessary?" He Xinjiu sneered again and again. "All right, let me ask you one thing. After purifying for so many years, why did you still create that Yuan Sha? You trapped us here to prevent others from coming in to die. Is this what you mean by mercy? Isn't everyone equal in the world? But am I inferior to my little beauty? Should I die?" The monk was rendered speechless by He Xinjiu's words. He tried to justify himself. You don't understand. I'm not here just to purify the Yuan Sha. What else? What else do I have to do? My head. The monk covered his head in pain. What else? What else do I need to do? Why can't I remember? He Xinjiu blinked her eyes. If you can't remember, then go to the side and think about it. I'll pick a few flowers first and refine them into pills to save people. It'll help you accumulate virtue." The monk was clearly in a trance. He did not have any reaction after hearing Yun Chujio's words. Yun Chujio did not care about that. She summoned Xiao He and the rest to protect Di Baiming. Then, she walked to the lakeside and started to cut the lotus flowers near the shore with her kitchen knife. Occasionally missing content? Please report errors in time. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.